Hey everybody, Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com to talk about the worst WWE title reigns in history. These were reigns that were either very short, or they served no real purpose, or they were guys that weren't really worthy of being champion. They were guys that weren't at that main event level, and them being champion actually devalued the title. So let's talk about some of these infamous reigns. Let's start off with the Iron Sheik in 1983. The only purpose his reign served was to get the title on Hulk Hogan. You don't want to have Hulk Hogan beating the babyface Bob Backlund, so you have to have a heel win the title so Hulk Hogan can win it. And that's the only reason that the Iron Sheik was WWE champion. And with all due respect to the Iron Sheik, I love him. I think he's awesome, but he didn't deserve to be WWE champion. He wasn't a main event level superstar. He was a good heel and all, but he wasn't at that top tier level. Next up is Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant did deserve to be WWE champion, but he was the champion for I don't even know how long. It was like a minute or 2 minutes. It was extremely short, and the only reason the title was put on him was because Hulk Hogan was leaving to film No Holds Barred. So Hulk Hogan needed the time off, and they put the title on Andre. And the angle and storyline was really cool with the evil referees, the twin referees. But Andre the Giant had one line, and he couldn't even get it right. He called the WWE title the World Tag Team title. It was an epic botch by Andre the Giant, and he quickly surrendered the title to Ted DiBiase, and that perhaps watered down the title a little bit. That money was more important than the title. A lot of the champions say that the title is the most important thing to them, and Andre would just surrender it to Ted DiBiase for the money. So that did water down the title a little bit, in my opinion. Next, Sgt Slaughter's run in 1991. Once again, like the Iron Sheik, Sgt Slaughter was WWE champion because WWE wanted to put the title back on Hulk Hogan, and they weren't going to do a Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior rematch. And they decided to try to capitalize on the whole Iraq War, and it flopped. The storyline didn't work. WWE wanted to do WrestleMania at the LA Coliseum, and they ended up moving it to the sports arena because they weren't selling tickets. So from a box office perspective, this title run was a failure, and Sgt Slaughter wasn't a main event level superstar. So it did water down the title quite a bit. The Undertaker's run at the end of 1991, very disappointing because he only held it for a week. The whole purpose of him winning the title was to try and sell the Tuesday in Texas pay-per-view and get that off the ground and get a big buy rate for that pay-per-view. And it didn't work. The pay-per-view flopped, and that was the only one they ever did. And Hulk Hogan went back to being champion, and it was very disappointing for Undertaker fans that he won the title only to lose it right away. Yokozuna at WrestleMania 9. Yokozuna wins the WWE title, beats Bret Hart, only to lose it to Hulk Hogan seconds later. Hulk Hogan comes out, and they challenge Hogan to a match. Hogan beats Yokozuna just like that, and that leads to the next worst title reign, and that's Hulk Hogan's 5th WWE title reign. He didn't even appear on television as champion until King of the Ring, and King of the Ring was his first title defense, and he lost the title back to Yokozuna. So really no point, and it was a huge box office disappointment as well. WWE was going back to Hogan, hoping that he would improve the ratings and the house show attendance, and it didn't work. And he didn't draw like they were hoping he would be able to. Bob Backlund's second run as WWE champion. Bob Backlund, after having the WWE title for several years, finally won it again in 1994, and then he lost it to Diesel in 10 seconds, and then that was the end of it. So once again, another transitional champion. Bret Hart was the champion, and then they had Bob Backlund win it so Diesel could win it from a heel. But really the only reason that they had Bob Backlund as champion. Psycho Sid's second run as WWE Champion. To be honest, neither of Sid's title reigns were that memorable. This one was even less memorable because he won it on Raw, and then he lost it a month later in a terrible WrestleMania main event with Undertaker, a really bad match, and it was a period where WWE was flip-flopping the title around a lot, and it should have been more because Sid could have been a dominant champion, but they chose to just have him win it and then lose it right away. So it was very forgettable, except for the fact that it was at WrestleMania, so people remember just how bad that match was. Kane's one-day title run in 1998. Very disappointing. Kane won the title with Undertaker's help. Undertaker hit Steve Austin with a steel chair. It was a first blood match. Steve Austin was cut open, and because of Undertaker's actions, Kane won the WWE title. That right there waters down the title when somebody wins it without actually earning the title. And then Austin just wins it back the next night. And the whole reason for the title run was a ratings ploy to try to boost up ratings for Raw. So, it was completely pointless and, just unfortunate that they couldn't have at least given Kane a couple months with a title. Vince McMahon winning the WWE title in 1999. Some people might not even know this happened. It just happened randomly on a SmackDown. Really, the only reason I believe that Vince won the title was so Vince could say he was WWE champion. Just really stupid. And, he quickly forfeited the title the next Monday night, and that was the end of it. And just no good reason to have him win the title other than to inflate his own ego. Big Show winning the WWE title at Survivor Series. The only reason he won the title was because Steve Austin got injured and WWE wanted to have a title change to send the fans home happy. That's the only reason that Big Show won the title in the triple threat match with Triple H and The Rock. That's really the only reason, and he quickly lost it back to Triple H. And between the time he won the title and lost it, he did have one pay-per-view match, and it was a disaster against Big Boss Man. Just a terrible match. And, just a failed reign. Rob Van Dam in 2006. RVD's title reign could have been something great. RVD won the title at One Night Stand against John Cena, although he had to have outside interference help from Edge, even though it was in his neck of the woods in the ECW crowd in the Hammerstein Ballroom, and RVD couldn't even beat him clean. So, that was the first negative, but it could have been a great title reign. But then RVD got busted for pot, and WWE had to take the title off of him, and it was a very short run. It was only like a month, and it was just a huge disappointment. It could have been so much more. Triple H's title run in 2007 at No Mercy. A lot of people listed this as one of the worst title reigns. I wouldn't say it was one of the worst title reigns just because it wasn't really WWE's fault. They were put in a bad situation here where John Cena got injured, so they went with this idea that Triple H would win the title from Randy Orton, and then Randy Orton would win it back at the end of the night. And they would do this to make the pay-per-view something memorable. So I really can't fault the WWE for this one, and I wouldn't count this one as one of the worst title reigns. It was short, just one night, but they had to do something to make sure the audience got their money's worth. Jeff Hardy's title run in 2009. He won it in December 2008, lost it January 2009. This was Jeff Hardy's first time as WWE champion. Why put it on him if you're going to take it away from him a month later? It was really dumb, and didn't like the storyline. Jeff Hardy had this mystery attacker, and it just ended up being Matt Hardy. It could have been so much better. They could have given Jeff Hardy a longer run and had him go into WrestleMania and to have a big match. But yeah, they took it away from him after a month, so what was the point? Batista in 2009, he won the title on on pay-per-view and then lost it, or didn't lose it. He got injured and was stripped of the title literally a day later. So he only had a one-day run as champion. So yeah, I mean, just a big disappointment here, and it wasn't Batista's fault, but wasn't much of a reign. Sheamus in 2009. Now this was definitely WWE's fault. WWE deserves the blame for this title run essentially being a flop. You have Sheamus, a guy you're building up as an up-and-coming superstar. You could give him a big win, have him beat John Cena decisively, and you have a new superstar. But what do? They have him win by a fluke. Sheamus wins the WWE title because John Cena goes through a table. It was so anticlimactic, and they really didn't push Sheamus hard as champion. He would win his matches by fluke, and the WWE champion should be the best competitor in the world. So it just didn't work, and it was due to WWE's poor booking. And he only had like a 2-month reign. Next up is John Cena's reign. Well, it wasn't really much of a reign. During this period, WWE was flip-flopping the title around a lot. It felt like every month there was a new WWE champion. At Elimination Chamber 2010, John Cena won the match, and then Batista came out. Vince McMahon brought out Batista and made an impromptu WWE title match. Batista beat him, and that was it for John Cena's reign. So it was just one of many extremely short title reigns. The next one on the list here is The Miz. Miz won the title at the end of 2009. It started off very promising. The Miz won the title. He cashed in Money in the Bank, and he was this guy that people didn't think would be a WWE champion, and he overcame the odds. So you had this cool storyline here, and you had the Miz girl, the little girl in the crowd with the angry face. So it started off on a high note, but then WWE dropped the ball. They didn't push the Miz like a world champion. They pushed him like a mid-carder holding the WWE title. And then at WrestleMania, it was all about John Cena and The Rock. The Miz was a WWE champion, but he was just off to the side. He was a bit player. And, a lot of people consider that WrestleMania main event to be one of the worst in WrestleMania history. And then The Miz lost the title the next month back to John Cena. And he beat the crap out of John Cena. Cena made his comeback and beat him. So that was the story of Miz's title reign. Rey Mysterio holding the WWE title for about an hour. In 2011, you had CM Punk leave WWE with the title, so WWE had to crown a new champion. They did this tournament, and Rey Mysterio won it. But then John Cena wanted his match for the WWE title, and the same night John Cena won it from Rey Mysterio, and that was it for Rey Mysterio's run as WWE champion. So what was the point? Why did you should have just had John Cena win the tournament and not even bother. And finally here, Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio won the WWE title at SummerSlam 2011. I was there. The crowd went absolutely nuts when he won the title, when he cashed in Money in the Bank. So this was a chance to create a new superstar. What do? You have him lose it the next month to John Cena. And, just a very disappointing first title run for Alberto Del Rio. Like guys like Jeff Hardy, why put the title on him if you're going to have him just lose it a month later? So, just a complete waste of Alberto Del Rio, and they should have given him a longer run if they were even going to bother putting the title on him. All right, that'll do it for my thoughts on the worst title reigns in WWE history, the worst WWE title reigns. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment, youtube.com/NoDQCW, and stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest news in WWE and TNA. Thanks for watching.